誰？先生、今日もよろしくね。
So, PlayStation VR came out last week, and one of the big launch titles is Summer Lesson, made by Team Tekken and Bandai Namco. Summer Lesson originated as an early tech demo for the PlayStation VR itself, but got so much positive feedback from the Japanese audience that it ended up as this retail product, which is built as a series of small personal experiences that in many ways are different from anything else that we've seen so far on VR. The full title of the initial release is called Summer Lesson Hikari Miyamoto's 7 Days Room. It's the last week of the summer vacation, and because Hikari's grades have dropped, it's your job as a teacher to try and get her grades back up again in mere 7 days. You start your day at a cafe, where you plan out what work you want her to do during the day, and then you go to her house and watch over her as she studies in the chosen subject, which seems to range from anything from normal book stuff to stuff like stacking cards and solving magic puzzles. You can even make her practice her drawing skills, which doesn't really seem to improve all that much throughout the game. But anyway, you get 3 different options to encourage her, I think. I don't speak Japanese, but it seems like something like that. One of the options is incorrect, one of the options is correct, and the final option is super correct, and if you choose that one you get a little bonus animation and an extra boost to her stats by the end of the day. After the study is over, you get a chance to ask a question about herself, which can be stuff like what music she likes, what she thinks of school, or if she did anything cool with her friends recently. Again, I don't know any Japanese, so it's mostly guesswork, but I did find out that she likes softball, and I also found out that she's really into sharks. She has pictures of sharks, she has a shark calendar, she has plush sharks everywhere in the room, and she even has an alternate outfit with a cute shark on it. Sometimes there might also happen a random event at the end of the day where she announces that you have a little extra time and might invite you to listen to music with her or do some light stretching exercises.
先生、避けてよ。じゃあ、もう一度行くよ。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。はぁ。先生もどうぞ。はい。1、2、3、4。もう、先生真面目にやってよ。
When you come back to the cafe at the end of the day, you are presented with a results screen. Here you can see your stat growth depending on the choice you made during the studies. If you answered incorrectly, her motivation will go down, and if you answered super correctly, you will also get a stat boost. Depending on what subject you asked her about by the end of the day, you will also receive a set of cards. During planning of the beginning of the next day, you can use these cards to boost her stats even further, and I think there might be some kind of correlation between which cards you choose for which study subject, but I haven't really been able to suss it out. For each time you choose a subject field, you also get another rank in that by the end of the day, and ranks carry over between multiple playthroughs, so you'll probably only get a C rank during your first playthrough, but as you climb the ranks through multiple playthroughs, you might actually end on an A and S rank, which in turn will reward you with new outfits to pick between, mixing the visuals up just ever so slightly.
先生？本当にありがとう。私、部活やめずに済むと思う。全部先生のおかげだよ。私、この夏が終わっても、ずっと先生に教えてほしいな。本当？ありがとう。約束だからね。じゃあお母さんにも見せてくる。
These kinds of rearing and teaching simulations aren't really anything new in Japan. They've had plenty of them over the years, and over the last decade I want to say that Idolmaster is probably one of the biggest game in that style of genre. These sorts of games are all about trying to make the player feel some sort of emotional attachment to the character, which is still something that is relatively new to Westerners, at least in this type of capacity. The closest analog we probably have is something like Dragon Age, where you spend hours chatting up a character to get to know them better, and ultimately bang them. And while Japanese games, especially on PC, certainly was that in the 90s, a lot of them have gone a step further and isn't really about sexual relations at all. It's more about falling in love, really. But will Summer Lesson make you fall in love? Well, not really. We aren't quite there yet, and I don't think a handful of canned animations is really going to make anyone fall in love. It still only really feels like talking to a robot. There is some impressive tech behind it though. There's some really nice animations, and she kinda tilts her and shifts her head and body in a realistic manner depending on how you position yourself in your seat. Now of course the most novel thing about this game is that it's in VR. And it might not be apparent from this footage, but really feels like she's standing really close to you. And that's really something that you can't replicate on a 2D screen, which is why we are seeing so much of stuff like this in the launch lineup on PlayStation VR. Other games include one where you are standing really close to a spooky man, a bald man, and a Batman. And while that's cool and all, this is the only one that tries to convey a sort of pleasant experience. And this is why I think Summer Lesson might be worth checking out. At a launch price at just under 3,000 yen, it's a little bit pricey for what it is. But a lot of these launch games really seem to be a little bit more pricey than what you'd expect. I guess that has something to do with it being new technology and all. Namco Bandai has also already announced further scenarios, like one where you go outside, one where she serves you food at the cafe, or one where you're watching fireworks together at a summer festival. There was also a Western version planned at one point, and at E3 2015, Namco Bandai was showing off a demo with a blonde girl on a beach. But because of some people, we can't have nice things, which is why Bandai Namco and Team Tekken decided to scrap it. The diplomatic quoting from Katsuhiro Harada was, "When you think about the current game situation and the climate in different countries, where you have to have characters from every different race or nationality, someone else would say, mine is not included, which is the climate we currently see with games. Since there are people who can't set aside the game and the actual problems in society, I don't want to open that can of worms." But who knows, maybe Namco Bandai will change their mind at some point, because I think the real reason is that market research came back and said that most people in the West probably wouldn't get it, wouldn't understand it. And while other publishers might certainly have found success in localizing smaller niche titles, this project might be just a little bit too big for that. Who knows, maybe they'll go the way of the Gundam series and make some kind of Asian version with English subtitles at some point. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But again, if you have 3,000 yen to spare and you're sick of games where you play Pong with your face, wanna try something unique and don't have too high expectations, then do check out Summer Lesson, Hikari Miyamoto, 7 Days Room.
それじゃ、またね、先生。